All right, and we are back. All right, and we are back.
Oh.
So, welcome to episode 2.5. When we had last left, you guys had just finished stacking the boxes in order to get up to Patrol Sergeant Omost From, who was drunkenly dangling from a precariously tied rope in order to scrub at the um, graffiti. Yeah, that's sort of. And so we'll do a quick just skip ahead to say that you got up, you untied him and brought him down, and you guys are now sitting with your backs against like either the rocks or just like kind of at the base of the waterfall. And he's you didn't have to bring me down. I have to clean it.
No, you don't.
I do. That's what Roderick told me he wanted me to do. And I have to. It's my fault that he's dead.
Your fault.
Uh-huh. When oh god, he's gonna reach like to his belt. He's gonna pull out a flask and take a big swig of it.
No. Stop that.
He's like, hey, this mine.
I'm knocking it to the lake.
He's gonna look sadly at it, and he was like, hey, that was all the whiskey I had left.
You're all good. Now you can actually be sober.
Now I have to go and buy more.
Oh, dude.
This is when Roderick and Kirst came of age to join the militia. Jagrin asked me specifically to keep them safe. And I did. God damn it, I did. I was their first leader in the guard, their first officer. Oh god. If I had just been paying attention, maybe if I had put better guards in the Rebel House that night, this wouldn't have happened.
Just bad luck.
Oh, Roderick. Oh, God. He is very intoxicated.
Gaelin, you want to try and reason with this mess?
You can't reason with the drunk.
Nothing's gonna come of a conversation until he's a little bit more sobered up.
He's gonna pat the side of Galen's leg. He's like, I'm glad you're here, Galen. You're one of the good half breeds. Not like them half orcs. Goddamn greenskins.
I'm gonna look at the ground and cough and just try to not be uncomfortable right now.
Filthy greenskin bastards. More and more of them have been showing up, and they're taking the goddamn jobs and threatening the well-being of the worthy the true Trinoans.
Oh.
And now they've killed. And now they've killed Roderick.
And you have to think about the fact that, like, he doesn't know the fact that that's actually true, but...
Well, he's also, like, he's definitely spoken to Cursed. like, he would definitely be in on the whole, we don't think this is a suicide thing.
He's also pissed drunk right now, so
Fred needs some water at the very least.
Looks at light.
yeah.
Looks
Well, perhaps a cold bath would help him sober up.
I think you might be right.
Staring intently at the water.
Where's my whiskey?
It's right there.
well, it's
Here,
right
here,
here.
almost. Here, almost. I will show you where whiskey is. Shoves him into the water.
Why did you do that, you asshole?
You wanted the whiskey.
He's gonna look down at his feet and... Oh yeah. He's gonna start, like, paddling around in the water looking for the flask.
Can I draw attention to the fact that this man is in full patrol gear, padding around in the fucking
And he's
lake.
he's like the second in command of the town guard. This is not a good look.
Not quite what I had in mind, but you know him better than me, so...
Fenrus, will you help me get him somewhere? This is just embarrassing.
Ay. Yeah, let's take him somewhere.
He's paddling around in the water, like, he'll occasionally grab and pull up, like, a shell from, like, one of the underground shellfish that had come up here, and, like, hold it up, examine it, and then shake his head and go, like, no, that's not my flask, and, like, throw it over his shoulder.
So I'm going to muck over to him and just start dragging him away. We'll find your flask for you. Come on.
It was dwarven whiskey.
Hey, Gaelin under his breath. That is f***ing waste.
Dwarven alcohol. I've had too much of it.
I guess where we need to the place we need to take him is. I can only think of like it's one of two places. He's either got to go to the Ramble House or he's got to go to the Longhouse. Like that's the two options here.
Which is closer?
The Ramble House, definitely.
The Ramble House. By a
Okay.
Ramble House.
Let's take him to the Ramble House.
Whatever's closer, because then his drunk ass is less public for less time.
Yeah.
While you guys walk, he leans into you, and he's like the drunken friend walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The arms over shoulders.
Yeah. He's goddamn half orcs. Roderick loved them. He did. He thought they were fantastic. I always told him they'd be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward a little bit, you guys get to the Ramble House. Cham has dealt with more than a couple of drunk people. She brews up, like, a very strong, warm drink that's non-alcoholic. You know, the, like, hey, here's a cup of coffee and some toast thing you do to friends when you're trying to sober them up.
Yeah.
She basically does that. And sticks you guys in, like, a darker corner of the inn's main room. And it's probably been like 10-15 minutes, and now he's just like sobbing quietly over his mug and like chewing on toast.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, he is sobering up. Trask would like to ask the proprietress about Ursul's room.
Oh yeah, she'll. Cham will point it out to you in the registry.
Yeah, and then we'll say that we should probably, since we're back here anyway, we should probably check that out when we have a chance.
Nah, I'll go with you.
and depending on how long it takes, you said 10-ish minutes to get sobered up.
Well, no, I said it took about 10-15 minutes from where you found Omos to like drag him over.
Okay.
So
I-
right
I
away,
guess-
it's gonna be a bit.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
yeah, he's gonna be slogged for a bit.
Trask will say, some of y'all stay down here and keep watch. And those more perceptive of us, not me, should probably head up and check out the other room.
Gaelin should probably stay with
Yeah, Gaelin should
Omos.
say. Trask will go just because. Just strength, I guess. Like in case some shit goes down. 'Cause there's
Sir
a bit of
Jeffers is
muscle.
good at finding things.
And that's a perfect
I'll stay
combo.
down here with Gaelin.
The other
Just to
muscle, yeah.
keep
good
an
move.
eye on who enters.
You get up to the people that are going up to Ernsel's room. You get up there, and it's largely unremarkable. It seems like the bed has been slept in and that kind of stuff. But Ernsel has checked out. She checked out like 2 days ago. It's been cleaned since then, and there's not anything like, I'm assuming the first place you go is check behind the cabinet to like see if there was, more writing and that kind of stuff. It just looks like a hotel room.
Okay, yeah. Checking that and like the
Yeah, the like little false
Well-
drawer thing. Yeah, there's nothing in
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Well, that eats some time up. Well,
Yeah. While they're looking up there, for the people that are still downstairs with Omos, he's chewing on some toast, and he's like, "It's my fault, I'm telling you."
It's not your fault. Just eat your toast and get the booze out of your system.
I don't want to get the booze out of my system. I haven't drank in years, but then Roderick, he dies.
Alcohol isn't going to change anything.
He's gonna wipe his eyes. It'll make me feel better.
but it won't.
No, it won't. You'll just feel worse later.
Why would I should have let I knew that Roderick was staying here, but I didn't know any reasons why. I should have just let him stay at my house. What kind of friend doesn't offer a couch or a cot?
You had no way of knowing.
Why I don't know why he didn't go to the sanctuary. I figured he would to go talk to that damned half-orc friend of his.
Ooms?
Which
I'm not here.
friend?
Oh, Katreza, I think his name is. Crippled old oaf. He just lounges in the sanctuary's bed and spouts curses and lies about his prophecy dreams.
I glance over at Gaelin to see if they've had heard of that name before.
You would know Katreza. Katreza is a very old orc. I mean, he's in his like low 70s. He was someone that came and he's like half blind, like really like legally blind. And like he kind of hangs out in the sanctuary and spends most of his time just helping out around there as much as he can. Any further information would probably need a knowledge roll.
Let's try for it. It's knowledge. What now?
Knowledge local.
Oh, well. Like... Am I getting a plus from True
Being
native?
a Trinawan native, yeah.
So, total 20.
20? Okay. I'll just show this to you then. If you want to go ahead and read that description of Katreza. Read for the class.
Treza is a gnarled old orc defector who is a long-standing resident of the sanctuary. He was raised among the Empty Hand clan and suffers from a terrible affliction of the lungs and weeping sores on his face and arms gained when he was chieftain of the clan gained when the chieftain of the clan sent him into the brimstone aspects to cause him to see painful visions of the future. At some point during his torment, Catreza saw a chance to evade his fellow orcs and fled to Trunau. Olgra granted him sanctuary, and he has since become a devout follower of Iomedae. He has proven his loyalty in countless times on the town's walls, though he cannot fight effectively any longer due to his ailments. He often takes on the more grueling and less glorious tasks of siege warfare, such as distributing rations and ferrying first aid supplies to the front. He still occasionally has visions, and the matron of the sanctuary,
You could just say the
Kyrie
matron.
Varvatos,
Yeah.
has begun privately recording them on the chance that they may point toward an important revelation.
As Gaelin says this, Omast is going to be like, you say that he's proven himself on the wall. It's a lie, I tell you. He's here for like the same reason as all them half-orcs. He's just trying to break us apart. And you guys can do a sense motive if you'd like on Omast.
I'd like to do that.
Sure.
Just one of us, or
Whoever wants to.
It's gonna be up to
I'll
that.
give that a
Sense
shot.
motives.
what is that? That's just a normal skill, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He just
That's
wants to
a-
make a true now better. Great again.
That's a
You know,
14 for me, for Gaelin.
19 for
You kind of get the impression that, like, Omast is a little bit racist against orcs, but, like, this is definitely beyond what, especially Gaelin would know this. This is, like, way beyond what he normally is like. It's very clear that he's, like, floundering and searching for an excuse. You know what I mean? Like, this is mostly the drink and the trauma talking.
He is just searching for
Someone
a
to
place
blame.
to set the blame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because he blames himself, but he also wants to blame someone else. And, like, considering his history as a very old guard captain of Trunau, it's easy for him to just be like, oh, I guess the people that hate half-orcs were right all along. You know?
That makes sense.
You kind of get the impression that, like, if you can sober him up, he'd be a way more chill person about this kind of thing. But, like...
While he's wasted and,
And his
Solid to
best
his
friend / surrogate son, more or
is
less.
now, no. That'll take a toll on your emotions real fast.
Yeah.
After about half an hour, Traz and Scarri, you guys come back downstairs. Almost isn't sober, but he's reached that drunk level where he's, like, kind of just quietly sitting there, and he's at least able to communicate now.
It's that point of self-reflection where you start remembering the shit that you said.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, I'm sorry, I just... I don't know what to do.
First off, you're not gonna get that graffiti off with a scrub brush. You're
What do
gonna
you
need a lot
mean?
more than that.
I've been scrubbing at it for a few days. It's bound to come off soon.
It's, I think she sort of looks over to Scarri to like sort of help with like the explanation of what the chemical compound is, and like what like its whole deal is.
Yes. I need to look up one thing really quickly before I act. I need to put brain first.
No.
The brain.
Oh, the brain, the most useless organ.
Not the big brain and winning again.
Okay. Not gonna do what I initially. Actually, hold on. No. I will. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Skye will kind of slowly walk over, and grab her dagger, and kind of set it on the the bar. You're not going to be able to get it to scrub off. It was made with an alchemic compound. It's like it's burned into the material. The white you see is just residue. They're trying to recreate this, and she's going to cast Arcane Mark on her own dagger.
Hmm. He's gonna go. And he's gonna slowly look at Gaelin, and he's gonna say, "Gaelin, did you know that the dire rat is a witch?"
Galen's just gonna. It's just the forehead slap.
He's gonna lean in real close and stage whisper, but like he's clearly thinks he's actually whispering. He's say, "I hear that they steal children." He is still very drunk.
That is apparent. Ugh.
I
was gonna
think
say,
I've ever
but-
wanted to hit him more than I want to right now.
So, wait, which rat? Rat witch? Rich. Yeah, I'm calling you're rich now. Rich, you're saying that the promise I made to Roderick to clean up the graffiti, I can't even keep that promise.
I could make a compound that would almost erase it, but there would still be a bit of an indent from where it was burnt in.
You do that for me? You're not even a Trinowan.
I like to help people. And my name is Scarri.
He's gonna look back at Gaelin, he's gonna say, I like your dire rat.
She is her own rat.
He's gonna tussle Scarry's hair.
Oh.
Trash will move forward and occupy the same spaces, Scarri, and sort of just stand protectively,
He'll also
half in front.
tussle your hair, Tress. He's gonna say, they're really cute.
Small scowl on my face.
Trash.
Yeah,
Humans don't normally call me cute.
that's true. You are.
He's gonna say, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to look, what to help with.
Well, the first thing you can do is sober the fuck up.
I'm
You're
just
of
gonna
no use
order
to
some more.
anyone.
I'm just gonna order some more rum when you leave.
No, you're not.
We'll give the Praetus a look. Just like
Shamus cut
no.
you off before you walked in the door.
Make a diplomacy check.
me.
Anyone who's trying to convince him not to.
I'd like to right now. Hold on. Is that a me thing?
Well, I'm not trying to convince him. I'm trying to tell the Praetus like, don't do it, because I can't.
I will make said diplomacy check.
I will do one as well. Let us see.
21.
Okay.
15 for Gaelin.
Galen, you get like really loud and then really quiet, like back and forth.
I am sorry.
It must be the Russian accent. You know, it comes and goes.
Trying really hard to maintain a consistent thing there.
He's
We decided on an accent.
he's just like he's like, okay. I guess alright. I guess I don't want to be handling some strange alchemical compound from the little rat here if I'm drunk. Okay.
Correctly.
And we could use your help with some other stuff.
What can anything to help anything to help with Roderick.
Uh,
I might have failed, but I'll do my best to get to redeem myself.
How should we do this? First, sober up. We'll be back in a few hours. Sober up, get some food into you. And,
A halfling comes over while you're having this conversation. She says, "Excuse me," and just like puts a platter on the table. She says, "Champ says this is for you, almost." And it's just like a big platter of like the greasiest eggs and bacon you've ever seen.
fair.
That
And she
food too.
stumbles away.
Sounds of eating.
But yeah, just eat your food, sober up, and we'll come back in an hour or maybe 2, probably around then, and we'll walk you through some stuff.
Bill nods and says, "Are you gonna go talk to Katressa?" Him and Roderick were friends, you know. I never
Yes.
understood what Roderick saw in the old orc, but I know that a few days ago or really like a week or so ago, he started going up there and talking to him almost every day.
We
Might
will
be a
be
good
doing
idea
that
to
as
stop by, especially if, as Gaelin said, they've been here as long as they have.
Yeah, Katressa has been here for like decades. Katressa might even have been here before Gaelin was.
We should check in with him at the very least.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, considering
Like the age
Considering my
difference,
age-
I'm pretty sure Katressa like yeah.
he's been in Trunau since before Gaelin was born.
So, just a little bit more information. But yeah,
He's gonna look at you guys with sad eyes, and Gaelin, this is a sad scene because like the thing is, everyone else is just like, "Oh, look at this drunk racist bastard," but Gaelin, you know that Omost has been like the finest, upstanding, like most beloved person in town, with the exception of Roderick, for years, and sober as a fucking whistle, like the whole time. And like this guy who you have personally seen like fight 3 or 4 orc raiders off single-handedly, like an incredible warrior and a leader of the people, looks at you like a sad 13-year-old kid as he chews on his bacon. Like, this is a man that is broken.
Fucking hell.
Gaelin's gonna just gonna kind of just level look at him and get sobered up. We'll be back. He's gonna get up and walk over to the bar, order a drink from Sham, slam it, and then start walking out the door.
Tross will follow behind.
All right, yeah, and as Champ pours you the whatever you wanted, whether it be like water, because it is probably like only like 9 or 10 in the morning. Which also led to part of the reason why it was so bizarre that Omos was so wasted. Champ will say, I'll keep an eye on him, take good care of him.
Yeah, don't let him drink anymore at all.
She shakes her head. She shakes her head. She says, "I'm gonna go and have to have a word with that goddamn general storekeep. He should know better than to sell whiskey to Omast."
Yeah. Are there any more? Are there any guards in the?
Yeah, there's the 2 I had mentioned the other day, that there's always 2 guards in the Ramble House at all times, just because of like the nature of what the Ramble House is.
As we go to leave, just gonna not even gonna look at him. Just stop like side by side, parallel with him, and just master does not leave this building at all.
He'll
And
nod.
keep going.
And they'll go over and they'll sit down with Omast, and one of them will put his hand on his shoulder, do the the big back pat. The other was gonna reach into his back pocket, and you'll see, or his belt pouch. You'll see he's pulling out a deck of cards to try to keep them occupied.
Good. So do we want to follow this new lead first, or continue with our original plan? Like, which one would be quicker to get to?
We should hold off on the burnt church, finish the stuff in the town first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially if if Krystalia has been here for decades. Any extra information before we head outside the walls is going to be important.
And also Brynja, the
the one who's in the residence.
I was more asking, do we go see the girlfriend or the
bro.
bond?
The bro.
The bro. The broski.
Galen's probably gonna decide.
You have to pass by Brynja's house to get up to the sanctuary.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the sanctuary is.
way.
Yeah, because if you guys look at the map, the sanctuary is the big building is one of the big buildings on the southern end here. I'll see exactly which one it is. Give me just a sec here. Oh, I'm totally wrong. The sanctuary is actually 0.7. It's right across the street from you guys.
That's very far away. I'm not sure we can make it there in time.
So you actually have to pass by the sanctuary to go to Brynja.
So
we stop by the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will confer to Gaelin regardless, just because they know the town way better than any of the rest of us.
News about Teresa is new to me, so I say we go talk to him first.
Sounds good.
Sounds goodly.
You go across the hall and or you go across the street and you enter into the sanctuary. The sanctuary is a big stone combination of temple and fortress. And as you go in, you're greeted by one of the apostles of Iomedae, a young man in a robe with a long sword at his side, and he says, "Welcome to the sanctuary, Gaelin. It's wonderful to see you, visitors. I bid you welcome to the home of Iomedae. What may I do for you?"
We're here to
Ask for-
seek Teresa.
The tapestry and say, "Oh, Teresa, yes. Perhaps I should go get Sister Tyrari. Please wait here."
Oh.
I look at Gaelin, just like, is this normal?
It's not abnormal, but the tone in which he says it implies that he knows that something's up, but he also he's doing the anyone here that's worked retail, when someone comes up and has a big story, you don't even really listen to it. The first thing you're like, "Let me get you a manager." You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish I didn't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Same. I wish I didn't, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, and I hate it.
Cool.
I
Now that we've
also
all
have
had,
been on the management side of that too.
Yeah.
now that we've all had retail flashbacks.
So he wanders away, and you're left in the quiet, cozy, but very militaristic and Spartan temple, and eventually you see him come through another door and bows low and gestures to you guys. And Tayari in her armor, which serves as both war gear and her ceremonial vestments, walks over to you. And have you ever seen someone that's really confident and is just convinced that they are a good person, and they float more than they walk? You know what I mean? like that very chest and head held high. It's not arrogance, it's just she knows that what she's doing is the right thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, in general, not like this specific moment. And she comes up
That
and
confident glide.
yeah, and she bows to you. She says, "Gaelin, welcome, adventurers. As has already been extended, I'd like to bid you welcome to the Temple of Iomade. I hear that you wish to talk about Krystalia."
Yes. Absolutely.
She'll gesture for you guys to follow her as she walks. She doesn't really want to have this conversation like right in the middle of the. I mean,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, fair.
and she's gonna talk like loud enough that it's clear she's not trying to hide anything. But it is a church, so she's also not like, you know,
Screaming.
yeah, loud conversational volume. She's like, unfortunately, Krystralia's not here right now, and he hasn't been for all day.
But he's sickly. Right?
This is part of the reason why it's bizarre. Yesterday, when I had, gone to speak with him, he seemed distracted and like he had something on his mind. And normally we converse about his visions. Gaelin, I'm sure that you've told your friends about them. But he said he didn't much feel like discussing. And she'll lead you down a hallway, and she starts at least going down some stairs to like the lower parts of the church. And she'll say, and then this morning I was told by one of the acolytes who went to go and deliver Krystalia his morning breakfast that Krystalia was gone. And no one saw him leave, but he's free to come and go as he wishes. He's not a prisoner here.
Do you know if word of Roderick's passing had reached Krystalia?
She shakes her head, and you see that she's leading you to a door at the end of the hallway down here in the basements. And she says, "No, we didn't find out about the death until the body was brought to us." She stops near a door on the left, and she'll say, "Indeed, Roderick rests right in there, being prepared for his funeral." She'll keep walking towards the end of the hallway. And she'll say, "To my knowledge, he left overnight before the body was brought to us." She'll open the door at the end of the hallway and a gesture for you to go in.
Cross will enter.
I'll go in.
It is a Spartan room, fairly unassuming. Very ascetic. That's the word I'm looking. And she says, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of insight to assist with your investigation, but I would like you to know that Iomade's light shines on those who seek the truth. You're welcome at the sanctuary should you need healing or any other assistance from the church. This is the room that Krystalia stayed in. You look around and there's a straw bed in the corner. There's like a desk. There's like a chamber pot, and
All right, fair.
She's not leaving you guys. Like, she's here. She's just flat out like, yeah, I don't really know what to tell you.
Do you have any idea where he might go? Where he might have gone?
She's gonna.
Because that he might leave too.
She's gonna shake his head. She's gonna say, "Unfortunately, Krystalia wasn't very much of a social butterfly. To my knowledge, he didn't have any friends other than Roderick, and Roderick always came and visited him here. They had meetings in this room fairly frequently. I don't know what they talk about. It wasn't my place to eavesdrop. But if circumstances were different, I would have said that you could probably find him with Roderick. That would have been my first guess." And you can see that, like, the bed is neatly made. Like, it is neatly made. The chamber pot has been recently emptied. There's a note written that's left on the desk. And you can tell it's in, like, the kind of writing from someone that knows how to write, but is struggling to see that, like, it's not really lined up properly and that kind of thing. And it says in common, it says, "Thank you for everything, Tayari." And Tara Arya will sigh and she'll say, "He couldn't have gone far. His condition is, well, for lack of a kinder term, crippling. It causes him immense physical pain and dramatically limits his mobility and vision. I don't think he would have left town, and that's been the reason why we've been looking out for him. He's been a true follower of Iomade. He's helped me with ceremonies, and I truly believe he has taken to the faith properly."
Would you be willing to share perhaps the last vision they talked to you about?
That he spoke to me about?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'd be happy to go and get my notes for you, but this was several weeks ago. We've stopped having our meetings. Every time I would ask him about his visions, he informed me that they were of a specific nature that didn't have to do with the church or the town, and insisted that he only speak to. Oh, by the way, Fenrus, you're giving feedback.
Oh, am I? Sorry.
And he says he insisted that he only speak with them with Roderick. I'd be happy to tell you, but I can see no connection between the two. And she'll like motion to the door. She'll say, would you like me to go and get my notes?"
I think it'd be best if we could check the notes.
She'll nod and excuse herself, and she'll head off. She'll say, "Oh, I will be back shortly." So you guys are free to look around the room. She did point out where Roderick's body is. Technically, there's nothing stopping you from going in there, but like Gaelin would know that it's a little rude to just kind of go into where the body's being kept. You were allowed to, like, Cursed gave you permission to do so, but like
it still looks a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, Gaelin would be a little less frowned upon, but there's 4 very unfamiliar faces in town, or at least 3. Checking out the body of one of the most beloved that had passed, the previous day, looks bad. Permission or not.
Yeah.
So if we were going to, we wait until Tiari comes back and we ask, at the minimum. But we should at least look around the room.
Just say for now, Gaelin is just going to be like scouring this room for any sign of anything.
Sure, make me a perception check.
Scarri would like to cast Detect Magic, just in case.
Sure.
It is a...
There is nothing magical in the room. And what was your result? Sorry.
29 on that perception roll.
You find a torn out piece of paper. And this torn out piece of paper starts to has like writing on it that starts with "how I wish I could," and then like it's misspelled and it's crossed out and then ripped out. You can see there's like the beginnings of a drawing of a portrait, but it doesn't look like it was like it's crossed out with like frustration. And it looks like whoever started writing and like drawing this clearly didn't like how it was going and just ended up throwing it off to the side. The reason this catches your attention, aside from just being out of place, is you don't see any evidence of a notebook or parchment or anything. Like, in fact, you know there's not. You go through his room. There's not a lot. There's like just the desk, the bed, and the chamber pot. There's nothing hidden under the bed. There's nothing in the desk aside from like a couple of like coins and stuff. And he left like some money here. It doesn't look like he's cleaned the place out. It just looks like he lives a fairly Spartan lifestyle. And the page is really out of place because you can't tell where the fuck it came from.
Found something?
This is strange. It's a torn page from somewhere, but there's nothing here in the room that it could have been torn from.
I know you just said there wasn't a lot of writing. Is the writing at all comparable to the note he left Barbados in terms of the?
It's
not
definitely
quite
not
right.
written by Katreza. This is
Okay.
written by someone with a very, like, a simple hand, but they can clearly line up their lettering and is comfortable with common.
Hmm.
Not
Wondering-
the same handwriting.
May I see that sheet of paper?
Of course. I'll hand it. Put it over. I have to wonder if it's from Roderick. She did say that he spent quite a bit of time here.
And Omos was saying he'd been coming almost every day.
And,
Yes.
Tayari will come back in, and she's got her own, like, sheets of paper. And they're not in a book, they're, like, loose, like, rolls. Clearly she was using, old scrolls that hadn't been utilized, you know what I mean? And, she's like, yeah, last time he spoke to me about his visions was roughly 3 weeks ago. And he had a vision, it seems here, of sheep, among a field of wolves. Then some of the wolves began to be befriended by the sheep. And then a large dark figure casting a shadow over all of them, which then goes into the ground underneath a lake and explodes outwards.
Oh my.
Connections, Gaelin, that a vision about wolves after the morning we had doesn't necessarily feel like a coincidence, even if the vision is weeks old.
I think we
Yep.
may need to do
And she'll see that.
further
How the-
investigation.
Oh, go ahead.
We may need to do a further investigation of the Hope Spring.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely.
There's
Would
no
that
other
be one
lake
of
it
the
could be
main
around
places?
here, right?
Huh?
There's no other lake it could be around here, right?
No, the entire reason why Chernow was built here is because of the Hope Spring. Like, you guys are in the middle of Mordor, and this is a source of fresh, clean water. Like, not only is there no other lake nearby, there's really no other source of clean water for miles.
Fresh, clean water that someone just threw open.
Well, you know.
Scarri is going to take the sheet of paper first and let Sir Jeffers smell it, and then she's going to walk over to the it's literally
Tayari's gonna see you letting
Tayari.
is gonna see you letting him sniff it. She's gonna say, "Oh, what did you find there?"
And she walk over. Is this Katreza's handwriting?
She
And
looks
show
at
them
it.
the note.
She looks at it. She says, "No, that looks like Roderick's handwriting." You know, now that I think about it, the days that Roderick would come and visit Katreza, he often had a small book with him.
Small book.
Yes, I asked him about it once, just making conversation while I was cleaning. He said it was his journal.
Was it on him when he died?
She shakes her head. She says, "No, now that I think about it, it wasn't. And I asked for any personal effects at the Longhouse, for the burials or for the burning ceremony, and they even said that they were looking for the journal for a little bit, because he never missed a day on journal. They couldn't find it."
That's odd. I might have to look into that as well.
Can't find it, and it wasn't on this person. Someone else has it.
I had to assume it was probably taken.
Or he left it with someone.
Yes.
If he was worried about anything, he might have left it with her name. God damn it, again.
Tayari, Brynja.
Thank you. Like the one name I can't have on me in my head.
And she'll nod and her eyes will go down to Galen's leg, because you're still bleeding, like fairly, not like profusely, but like it's a good bite.
Hold on. Hold on. How much damage did...
He took 2 points of damage, but it's still, you know. And she'll smile and she'll go up to you and she'll put her hand on your shoulder and close your eyes and she'll say, Iomade, Gaelin is doing his best to protect the town. I ask that you look over him, and I ask that you cure the injuries he has taken in that during this very important task. And Gaelin, you can feel yourself being like it's a very humbling experience knowing that a godly power is being pushed in your direction. You get a sudden sense of something far, far greater than yourself. And it's brief. It's only there for a second, and then it's gone. And you look down, and underneath your boot, there's you know, you can see the skin through where the dog's bit, but there's no more injury, just a little bit of dried blood on your boot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's alright, it will smile and clap you on the shoulder.
Well, I think our next few stops are pretty clear.
Very.
She'll walk you out and she'll have some like minor conversation as she's going, just you know, saying, "Hey, we're planning on burning Roderick. If not tomorrow, then the day after. Most likely tomorrow. We try not to like leave bodies around because, you know, diseases and stuff. So you know that she asked that you attend the funeral pyre when it happens, because, you know, Roderick would very much do for everyone, especially like, you know, he always loved meeting new adventurers. She thinks that he would, if you guys would attend.
Wouldn't miss it.
I don't see us leaving town anytime soon yet, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and she'll walk you out, and as you guys hit the entrance to the sanctuary, she'll bow deeply to you and wave as you wander off.
We have a lot more things to look for now.
All right, and it probably takes you about an hour. Probably about, we'll say an hour and a half, but to have all of this experience and then also get to Brittany. We'll just fast forward to you guys going to Brittany because nothing happens in between.
Yeah.
So it's now probably around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I'm gonna go with 2.
Sounds good.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna say we'll push it to like 3:30. Because you probably stop at the Ramble House to check in on Omos. He's still sobering up. Get something to eat because you guys really haven't eaten yet today, and it's now like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, food is
and like,
important.
you know, collect your thoughts about like, okay, what are we gonna do next? You know, so on and so forth. So that'll probably kill about an hour. And then you go to Brynja. Brynja lives in a fairly humble shack in the common area of well, I say the common area, residential area of Trinau. Hold on, let me read her. Yeah. Okay. You get there. You would know exactly where she lives, Gaelin. It's not like it's a small enough town that, you know, if you say, "Hey, where does so and so live?" you know the building. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's tucked away in like up against one of the walls, in a shadow, like a very, very humble, unassuming, out of the way like home. Looks like from the outside it's probably only like 2 or 3 rooms. If you think in modern terms, like most of your budget, like entry level apartments that are only like, you know, living room, bedroom, kitchen, it's probably that but standalone. You know?
Before we walk in, I'm gonna ask Gaelin if he had any idea why the relationship between her and Roderick has felt like it had to be kept secret.
Cursed had pointed out, and Roderick would have mentioned also to Gaelin about the fact that like his dad hates half-orcs. I mean, we're not talking like almost, hey, he's drunk and like looking for someone to blame.
Like full blown.
Like full blown, like they're coming over the border to steal our women, kind of like hates.
He
Ooh.
is like,
Okay.
yeah, he.
I just wanted to make
Roderick's dad is the epitome of
racism.
that racist bastard.
Yeah, and like
I just wanted to make sure it was due to like the father disliking and not something more intricate.
no, and like half like the interspecies romances are not an uncommon thing. It's just very specifically in Roderick's circumstances, like.
Species romance.
She's a half orc. His dad is hyper racist. That's just what it is.
And so let's cut the scene to the camera looking at you guys being standing in front of the door.
Should we knock first?
Gaelin probably should be the first one to knock.
Yeah.
Anyone
Anyone
want to do perceptions real quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
I love perception checks. I definitely don't have a -2 on them. That's a
I
1.
definitely.
That's a
Oh
1.
boy.
Wasn't a nat 1 this time though. I stayed positive.
22 total.
You can hear sobbing from inside. I'll point out, Brynja knows about Roderick's death, and it was like 8 hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trust
it's
has
fresh
a,
for pretty much everyone. Like,
Trust got a 13.
Yeah. If you beat me a 15, you can hear the crying clearly. If you beat me a 10, you can definitely hear that someone's home.
Okay. Okay.
Galen's gonna just kind of suck in a deep breath, nice long exhale, and rap on the door.
One moment, please. Let's see the like window shade will like pull to the side, and you can see Brynja looking out. And she'll close the shade, and you'll hear the lock what the fuck, Blake? The lock unhatching on the other side, and she'll open it slightly. She'll say, "Oh, go ahead."
I think you were trying to say latch and lock at the same time.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And she'll open the door slightly. She'll say, "Oh, hello, Gaelin. Strangers. What can I do for you?"
Well, we had
like
some questions for you.
We'd like to speak with you if we can.
Certainly. Please come in. And she's gonna open the door and step aside, and you can see her eyes are like red. She has been crying all morning. She lets you in. She says, "Please, have a seat." She points to a very simple oak like table and chair setup that sits for like 6 people. Like it's a long table, And she'll say, "Please, I think I have some tea. I'll make you some if you'd like. Can I get you water or something to eat, perhaps?" Here you go, everyone. Here's Brynja Kelver. And she like kind of shuffles over to the kitchen, and you can see that she takes a kettle out, fills it with a little bit of water from a tub, and puts it into the fireplace to start heating.
Fair.
What can I do for you? You said you had questions?
Trying to remember my question. I had it in my head until you actually asked.
Did
Usually how
Gaelin
it goes.
happen to leave anything to you
Ga-
before
Roderick?
Roger? Sorry,
Roger.
yeah. Ugh. Well, I read my chat.
Yeah, I figured that's what happened.
Yeah.
She's. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. It just had Roderick recently left you anything important that he told you to keep safe, or anything that he might not want others to have access to? It's
She's gonna.
important that we
She's gonna shake her
find
head.
out.
She's gonna shake her head. She says, "No, he didn't leave me anything. I haven't really seen him for a few days though. Um, I feel awful about it. But yeah, the only thing of his that I have is I think technically, and she's gonna reach and pull out around her neck. She's wearing a hope. So this is technically his. We exchanged them.
May we have a look at it?
She'll happily give it to you.
Trust will look at it and specifically look for the section where there will be an engraving.
And the engraving says, "To Brynja, my love." And you can see on the pommel of it, there's a small like symbol that you would recognize as like the symbol of Trunau.
Mm.
Gaelin would also like probably quietly point out that like only officers of the guard have that. It's just like, you know, one of those little flourishes to respect there.
What they do.
Yeah. And Rec, I'll refund that for you. Sorry, gotta stop talking to chat.
Yeah.
I have a question.
She'll look at you and smile politely, but like through sadness in her eyes.
The last time you talked to Roderick, did he mention needing to get a new hope knife?
Yes. This is gonna begin crying. I'm crying pretty. And pull up this exact conversation because this is one of those things that what they specifically said. Hey, here's how this conversation should go. Mm-hmm.
Yo, what? I asked a question the book was prepared for?
Yeah, right. Crazy.
What?
Fake. Sounds fake.
This is
Wow.
unheard
Can't
of.
believe.
Yeah.
Can't believe.
Scarri is
she's gonna
actually
say-
just reading the book word for word. SMH.
She's gonna say, yeah, I haven't seen him for a few days, and the reason is because he lost his hope knife. He told me about it. He said, it was the day before Ruby's funeral, or ceremony rather, Ruby's ceremony, and he told me that he was near the old church outside, and that he had lost it, and I was furious because I gave that to him as an engagement thing. Some cultures they exchange rings. This would be like losing your engagement ring. And I you know, we talked a little bit, and then I told him that I didn't want to see him again until he until he found it or got a new one. And then I haven't seen him for 2 days. And if I knew that it would be the last time I saw him, I wouldn't have kicked him out, and I would have told him I loved him. And...
Trust will say he was working on getting it that the knife to come see you again, and he still cared deeply about you, and he loved you very much, it seems.
She'll smile and nod and thank you quietly under her breath. And she'll say, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to keep myself together. You must understand. It's been a very long day.
Yes, of course.
You're looking into his deaths?
Deaths.
Death, rather, sorry.
Happened multiple times now.
Could be a dialect thing.
No.
Fair. But yes, we are. We have some leads, and we have more things to check out. And if you have any questions of us, feel free to ask us as well. We're just trying to help. We're trying to do our best. But it seems there's a lot going on here. We are still figuring out. We might have to come back and ask some more questions after we're done here. But
She
for now,
says,
does anyone have any questions?
She says, I'll happily tell you everything I know. Me and Roger, we've been seeing each other for several months, actually, and it's been going absolutely fantastic. And we got engaged last like a few weeks ago, and Roger he didn't demand. He was never the sort of man to make demands, but he asked, and I could see in his eyes he truly meant it, that we keep it hidden because his father wouldn't approve. I respected his wishes for privacy, but if I'm being honest, I thought it perhaps cowardly. I didn't understand why he couldn't just tell his father that we were in love, and that was we were already fighting about that occasionally, and then he started doing some sort of investigation recently, and he called it his greatest work, and he would never tell me about it. And then his father did find out and came to my house and told me that if he ever found out that his son was seeing a filthy half-orc temptress again, he would run me out of town. And it was too much. When I found out he also lost the hope knife, I blew up on him. And he wrote such beautiful poems.
Where did he write his poems?
Journal? Yes, he kept a journal. He wrote in it very frequently, not only his personal experiences and his thoughts for the day, but he used it to draft his poems and his plays. And Gaelin will confirm that he actually was a fairly respected playwright. In town, like he was definitely like not just dumb muscle. And this is I don't know where that journal might be, but I know that there was his room at the Ramble House. You might have looked there. I also know that he often went to the sanctuary. I asked him about it once, and he said that he had a thoughtful muse there. But I never really explained that to me. I figured he was talking with Tayari. Excuse me. I figured he was talking with Tayari, and he was a very devoted Iomedean man. I thought that perhaps he was just getting inspiration for his next play from the church.
Well, he had a friend there that we also need to find now. Seems he was going there to see
Reza.
Yeah.
Oh, Katressa, yes, lovely man.
Yes, that seems to have been his muse.
Oh, well, I'm glad it was that and not another woman, but I don't know why he would be looking for Katressa. I mean, I can't imagine that. Perhaps he was writing a poem about being in an orc tribe. Katressa would know the most about that in town.
Yes. Have you seen Katressa? recently?
And she shakes her head. She says, "No. He Krista keeps to himself for the most part. I know he lives in the sanctuary, but I would suggest looking there for him. I haven't seen. If you said that he's missing, then I wouldn't know where to look. You might check with some of the other half-orcs in town. We are accepted by many, but we are also hated by many more. And when we have a problem, it's not uncommon for us to look among our own people for safety and comfort."
That does make sense. Any ideas of things that could have stacked up against Roderick would be helpful, because Katreza is missing, and the smith who worked on his replacement hope knife is also missing.
Sarah is missing? I thought I saw her this morning.
We were told that they hadn't been to at least work in 2 days, and no one had. And they, the person, name Smith, the one in charge of the Smith.
So Sarah is the half-orc you spoke to. Ursel is the half-orc.
Ursel.
Yeah, that's missing.
Yes.
Oh, it was one of the half-orcs that came for work. Okay, I see. I understand. No, unfortunately, I wouldn't know where to begin with that. Perhaps you said that Sarah didn't know where her apprentice was?
No.
Perhaps Sarah might know where Katreza is. She is a half-orc. And not for nothing, but if I was worried for my safety, there's few people in town I would trust to protect me more than Sarah Morninghawk. She is a very strong woman.
Alright. Oh.
And to clarify, you said Roderick lost their hope knife at that old church?
Yes, he said he was going out there to work on his investigation. I don't know anything about I asked him a few times, but he simply told me that I would learn about it eventually. I guess that's not gonna happen now. The tea kettle starts whistling, and she goes over and takes it in like a little towel, and comes over and pours you guys some tea.
Thank you. Trust will take the cup that is just a wee bit big for her and sip from it.
4 cups not being normal for Ratfolk? What?
This, my friend, is a pint.
They sell pints?
Pints?
Pints.
I want one. But you already had a... But a pint. Look at Gaelin and we need to check out this church. It's come up too many times to just be a convenient abandoned building.
Yes.
This is true. However, it is late enough in the day. I'd say we may need to save that one for tomorrow.
Gaelin, I will also point out, you know for a fact that the church is considered to be haunted. Like, that's the reason why kids are like, oh, hey, I bet you won't spend a few hours in the church's main hall. Is because, like,
yeah,
this is not like a, oh, hey, there might be, like, a couple of noises. There's like, no, there's a haunting there.
While I would agree that resting is important, I feel like the longer we let this drag out, the worse things might possibly get.
We do have something else to investigate as well.
It's probably
still here with
probably like 4:30 in the afternoon now, just for time.
Brynja, do you have an idea about what time Roderick went to investigate the old church?
He would
Time
normally
frame wise.
he would normally go at night. He said that he didn't want anyone from town following him there. So he would often, after the gates closed, he would, the guards would let him out because he's Roderick, and he would just go himself.
Waiting tonight to go investigate might be the play.
Hmm. Yes.
You can make me a knowledge religion check, anybody?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Let me
That's
look
the
at
that is the one I don't have.
I got a 15.
You know that haunts tend to be stronger at night. Hauntings and stuff like that, because hauntings are a very specific thing. They're like supernatural traps, basically, mechanically speaking. And they tend to get more powerful at night. It's likely that Roderick either knew where to go to avoid them and was using them to like help cover his own, like, to make sure people weren't following him. Or that he had someone with him that could fight off supernatural threats. Because, frankly speaking, going to a haunted church at night is way more dangerous than going to.
Well, I think probably going at night would be our best chance of finding something happening. As dangerous as that will be.
Is very much also the fastest way to get caught up in something.
Yeah.
But I think we at least take Brynja's advice and ask Zera if they've seen Katraza.
Yes.
On the way down, we do need to recheck the spring.
Yes, we do need to recheck the spring too. The spring is very, very much a point of interest after that. After that prophecy that we had heard.
Brynja
every
will. Oh, go ahead, Fenrus.
Every time we seem to answer a question, we get more. Oh, yeah. Let's hope we can wrap this all up.
Brynja will.
This doesn't.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
This does not feel like something that's going to be wrapped up quickly or quietly anytime soon. This feels more complex than what we first thought.
Brynja will begin sniffling again, holding back a crying fit. She'll say, I'm sorry, but is there anything else? I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for Roderick's funeral. I don't even know if I'll be welcome there. Because of his father. So
Gaelin, I was gonna say, at that, Gaelin's going to kind of abruptly stand and just look her dead in the face, and he'll be there regardless of what he says. And if he has a problem with it, he can take it up with me.
she'll smile at you with that, like, sad thank you, I know you mean that, and, like, gently touch your arm.
He's just gonna go ahead and wrap her in a big hug.
And she's gonna cry into your shoulder. This is a woman who lost her fiance of, like, months. Like, less than 10 hours.
it's a little fresh.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
Gaelin is right.
So scene changes to you guys leaving, walking through the city streets to wherever you're going next. It is now about 4:45, 5 o'clock at night.
Right.
Is it starting to get dark yet?
The sun is starting to
Or we
set,
hit-
but it's like mid-fall. So, like, it's not like dark, but it's, the sun is definitely on its way down.
We need
Okay.
to check this ring while we still have light.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go there quickly.
Yeah.
So we'll sort of rush our way down to the lake.
Okay, you'll get there about 5:30. The crowd has mostly left. There's a couple of fishers, crabbers, that kind of thing here and there. But there's not nearly the crowd that was there when Omos was drunkenly...
Hanging from the rocks.
Yeah.
Fair. How hard would it be? I don't want to say how easy because it's gonna be harder than I would like. How hard would it be to boost someone up from the bottom to the top?
To the top of, like, the cliff?
Yes.
It's like a 60, 70 foot drop.
Okay.
Like, see if I can pull up an actual picture of Chernobyl. Yeah, here we go. Like, the waterfall's on the right.
Okay.
It's a substantial water feature.
Okay, yeah.
How dark is the spring? Looking, like, down into the water at the bottom.
You can see the bottom. It doesn't go more than, like, 10 feet at its deepest point. For the most of it, it's, like, 2 or 3 feet. It's definitely a spring lake, not, like, a deep, deep lake. Like, you wouldn't be able to get a boat on it.
But you're saying True Now doesn't have a massive navy?
Yeah, right?
Then they
Unheard of.
better navy than the army of Mordor if they had a single boat.
Just a
Considering we
little,
are in
like,
the middle of
pontoon.
Mordor.
Okay, fair.
Ben's gonna just start, like, really examining the rock face, all the crevices, anywhere something could be hidden.
Make me... character sheet.
Looks like it's only about 30 feet, actually.
Ow. Did you really just ruler that? That may not be an accurate depiction of top to bottom, though. That's more for the squares, isn't it?
Make me a knowledge nature check.
Oh, the nat 20s.
Okay. Something catches your attention that has never caught your attention before. You've lived in Chernobyl for your entire life, and for the most part, like, oh hey, it's a waterfall, and it is proper rock and everything. But the place, and I'm assuming that you guys have the boxes still stacked up from when Oma before,
I mean,
so.
unless someone took them down.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't. So that's still there. You climb up and you're looking at it, and something suddenly stands out to you that you start kicking yourself for never having realized. The rocks to your left, underneath the waterfall, and rocks to the right that wrap around the cliff face, they're, stone, they're craggly, they're like, there's like small cracks in them, there's outcroppings, it's not a perfect, thing. This one spot that the symbol was on, and it's about a, like, 8-9 foot circumference circle, you suddenly realize is, like, really smooth. Like, almost like it's a single piece of stone. Or perhaps, like, it's not, rocks don't normally form with this, like, perfectly smooth shape when they're this large. It's also bizarre because it's not like, oh, hey, this one section is like a rock and you can trace an out, like, you know, if it was just like a boulder with a smooth face, you'd be able to trace the outline of that particular boulder. It like slowly morphs into this smoothness.
It's an egg.
No, stop.
Don't, because I was about to say the exact same thing.
Not an egg.
Oh no.
Egg.
Huh. Doing. The fuck is this? How did I never notice this before?
Possibly because it's new.
Gaelin, you would know 100% that that's not the case. It's always been like this. It's just never. It's just never occurred to you that it was weird. You know?
Yeah, it's literally been like this since I was born. It's never struck me as strange before. I'd like to go about investigating / examining the area, because all I've noticed so far is that it's just unnaturally smooth in this one area where this is at.
As far as you can tell, and I'm gonna keep rolling your natural 20 off this, as far as you can tell, nothing else is bizarre about this area. It is just a waterfall. I mean, it's bizarre in the sense that it's a waterfall in the middle of Mordor, right? Like, but that's not...
That in and of itself.
Yeah. But other than that, nothing looks like it would be unnatural. The rocks all follow the proper level of erosion.
I meant specifically about this smoothed area.
You wouldn't be able to tell anything else through mundane investigation of it. Because as far as you can tell, it's just a really, really strangely smooth hunk of rock. And you just don't know how it could have formed like that. To your knowledge, you have never seen rock naturally form into the shape. And there's a slight cough behind you.
Turn around and look.
Yeah, just
Ditto.
And standing behind you is Gaelin would know, Warden Silvermane. He's an elf, and he's wearing ceremonial druidic robes and carrying a staff. And he's raising an eyebrow, and his arms are crossed, and he's kind of just like looking at you with like a combination of like curiosity and also like impatience. Gaelin, you would know that... Okay, so you would know Warden Silvermane, because he's another person that's been here way longer than you have. In fact, Warden Silvermane's been here longer than Tranau has. So Silvermane is... Silvermane's an elven druid that doesn't talk. He's never said a word to anyone. He can, like, make noises and stuff, but he's never said a word in the entire time that that the city has been here. He
just spoke to us.
No, he coughed. He didn't say anything. He just like, you know. And like he's friendly to the town. When orcs raid, he'll use druid powers, like, you know, summon lightning storms and shit like that to like fight off the orcs. And when people get hurt, he'll happily use his healing magic on them. Like, he's a nice guy, but like, no one has any idea what the fuck he's ever been doing here. Because when the Crusaders that first started Trunau were retreating, Warden Silvermane was already like, protecting the Hope Spring. And even the title Warden is kind of just like, no one knew what to do with the guy because he ignored everyone. He refused to like listen to any orders or anything. It just seemed like his entire purpose in life was to like make sure that the Hope Spring wasn't blocked. And in the rare case that like, you know, the water has gotten fouled because of like
Almost throwing up into it?
that, or like someone dying, like, or like something dying upstream. Like he's the one that goes and fixes it, you know, and that kind of thing. And after a certain point, the city was just like, well, if he's gonna fucking do it, let's just make it his official title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It's the equivalent of, this guy was gonna do this regardless of us. We may as well give him an official title. So as far as legalities go, he's got all the right to do this stuff.
Oh. Perfect.
So he's giving you the like, you know, the look that a teacher gives you when they catch you doing something wrong, and it's not like really angry or hostile. It's just that like explain yourself kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know that look.
I guess since Gaelin would know who it is, they are most fit to explain.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Gaelin probably explains everything I just said, and the entire time Warden Silvermane is looking more and more impatient. He starts doing the thing where he moves his hand in a circle and the like, come on, move it along. He understands you have to introduce him to everybody, but like, you know. And then when you're done, he like kind of puts his hands up to the side like, well, I'm waiting.
We're investigating the possible connection of Roderick's murder with whatever is going on with the symbol and here at the Hope Spring.
He'll pull out a large stone tab that he carries around with him. I call it stone. It's like a wooden tab that has like a stone chiseled face. And this is not weird to you, Gaelin. You've seen him do this a few times. And he starts... His mouth starts forming words, but he's not speaking. And then he waves his hand over the tablet, and he turns it around, and it says in perfect common, so what does that have to do with my spring? He's using Arcane Mark to, like, communicate with a notepad.
Nifty shit right there.
Well, for one thing, we're trying to figure out why whoever's putting up these alchemical markings decided to make one much larger than the rest.
Oh, take the
right here at the spring.
Take the tablet back and, you know, waves his hand and the script disappears. Casts it again, turns around, it says, "Places of power?" Question mark. Mm-hmm. And then he'll point to the sanctuary that you just left from, and you'll remember that people had pointed out that the sanctuary also had the symbol on it. Mm-hmm. And like he points to a couple different places. Traz, you and Scarri will recognize he's pointing to places where the graffiti has been, and then he'll shrug and look like he gets the kind of like, I don't know, look on his face.
Yeah, and another prominent place that was marked as one of these places was the burnt church outside. We'll just mention that.
And so he'll when you say that, he'll tap the tablet that says "Places of Power," and he'll like make a big like gesture of like underlining it with his hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a small question.
He raises an eyebrow at you.
Do you recognize the name Melira?
Shakes his head.
And you said that he keeps to himself mostly, right?
So Romain, yeah, he doesn't. He literally doesn't do anything except hang out near the Hope Spring and take care of it.
So
And
the people that are missing, there'd be no.
And even
point.
even when it comes to like the city being attacked, and like Gaelin would point this out to you, like even then, I've mentioned that he'll heal people, or he'll use his druidic magic to like fight them off. It's only when they get to the Hope Spring. Like he doesn't go and man the walls. He just defends the Hope Spring, and the Hope Spring happens to be inside Trinal. You know what I mean?
Fair.
And then
He cares about the water, and that's pretty much it.
he'll look at you, and his eyes have kind of been on Scarri for most of the night, or most of this conversation, and he's had like a raised eyebrow and like a sort of like curious like kind of smile.
He knows that I tried to fish here.
I think he'd care a little bit more about Omos puking into it. Or Gaelin pushing Omos into the lake.
Trust will, having noticed this, said, "Is there something that intrigues you about me? Is there?"
No,
something
Scarri. He's
wrong?"
saying this, not Tross.
Oh, Scarri. Okay. Blech.
That's why I was a little confused, but I figured you were probably standing right next to me. So you were, so Trask was just misunderstanding?
Yes, absolutely. That's what's
Definitely not Ash with understanding. Nope.
No, I'm not a dumbass like that. What do you think? I don't have a skill issue. You have a skill issue.
Cover up.
This is what we call a skill impediment. So apparently, Mr. Warden Man knows something about Scarri that the rest of us don't.
He'll take the tablet, wave his hand over it, the script disappears. Wave his hand over it again, turns it around, and just says, it just says one word, it just says, witch. And it's not, the look on his face is not accusatory, right? Like, he's not saying this in, like, a Salem Witch Trials way. It's just, he is a good enough spellcaster that is familiar enough with the works of, like, magic, and how, like, deities and powers function, that, he took one look at Scarri and instantly pegged what kind of caster she was.
She's going to walk over to his little little thing and cast Arcane Mark, and it just says yes.
He lets out a laugh, and like I said, he can make noise. He just can't talk. He has a almost musical voice. He is Elven through and through. His voice is like so smooth. Every other sound in the near the lake almost gets quiet. Scarri, you recognize he is a man of power. He is probably like several centuries old, and just consider this. This is an elf that is several centuries old, has been living in the middle of Mordor alone for most of his life, and is still alive.
And he still has a musical voice.
Which from a race that barely will make it into the I think 50 or 60 years, absolutely terrifying age.
I don't even think Ratfolk live that long.
No, I'm thinking like that is the far extreme ranges. I think most of them are in their 30s.
Yeah, that's
or 40s.
like what someone lives to like 110.
Make me Scarri. Make me a. I like the exchange you just had by showing that you're also a spellcaster, and agreeing with him and playing with that. He's a big fan of magic users. Make me a diplomacy check. and only use Scarri.
That's a 20.
Ooh, good roll, especially with no modifier.
Yeah.
So that's a nat 20?
Yeah.
All right.
Your second or third tonight?
It's
All
only
right.
second.
Well, with a nat 20, okay. He looks you up and down. He's his little laughter. He's gonna lean down and tussle Scarry's hair a little bit. He'll reach into his robes and he's gonna pull out. You would recognize this trass as like some flesh from one of the subterranean fish that is in the lake. Like it's like smoked, like fish jerky, basically. And he's gonna offer it to Mr. Jeffers. Or to Sir Jeffers, rather. And then when Sir Jeffers presumably takes it, he'll scritch Jeffers around the chin. And, then he's gonna look at Scarri, raise an eyebrow, take the tablet back, and he's going to wave his hand over it. And it'll say, "Can you see?" with a question mark.
Scarry's going to sit there and kind of look slightly befuddled.
He's gonna tap his chin and look around like he's thinking, and then he'll do the like hold up his finger thing, and then he'll take the tablet and, showing you him doing this, he's going to wave his hand so that C disappears. Then he's going to cast a spell, and you recognize that he's casting Arcane Mark again, and you'll hear like the sound of the Arcane Mark going off, but you can't see anything on the tablet. So now it just says, "Can you blank question mark?" And then he's going to point to his eyes.
Oh, hold on. I believe I can. I think it's... Is it read magic that allows you to read?
No, detect
arcane
magic
marks
works
that are
too.
hidden?
Detect
Okay.
magic works too.
I just couldn't remember which one it was.
So read magic allows you to read magical script. Detect magic allows you to see magical substances or messages. Because like read magic is very specifically like scrolls and stuff. Looking at it and knowing what the spell that's on it is.
Okay. She will cast detect magic.
And no shit, you can see the word "see" now. When he sees you casting the magic, a big smile crosses his face, and he starts nodding yes.
Scarri will also just like enthusiastically nod yes as well.
Okay, I'm going to take this to Whispers now, because I think that that's thematically appropriate.
Okay.
So I am sorry for the audio, guys. The party, you guys can go ahead and exchange your... they're basically ignoring you guys now, so if you want to, like, quietly talk amongst yourselves.
Tress will just sort of look at the group and just like, of course she can see. Her eyes work. We can see in the dark just fine. And sort of like shake her head.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Not
It might
what
be
he meant.
not quite that literal.
Yeah, but I'm the fighter. I can be a dumbass sometimes.
Strong
So
back,
you could
weak
just... it's /W space and then GM to whisper back.
Okay. Thank you. I was literally just gonna look that up.
Oh. Well, with those two in a world of their own, Tress will do like a little.
He suddenly reaches out and grabs Scarri by the wrist. Not aggressively, but it's a sudden movement. And
Cross will be on guard immediately.
he starts dragging her over to the wall, like the smooth section of the wall.
Cross will be following.
Scarri will be like kind of waving down, like, it's okay, it's okay.
He's gonna put your hand on the wall, and then he's gonna arcane mark again.
Think I still have, I still have detect.
Make a perception check for me. Or actually, it might be spellcraft. Let me look at the spell. Where is Scarri's sheet? I need to see the actual wording for detect magic. Detect magic. It is a level 0 spell, if I remember correctly.
Yes, detect magic 0.
Yes. Okay. It is a spellcraft check. No, knowledge arcana.
That is going to be a 22.
Ooh, good roll. I know, horrible. Great content for the listeners.
After having like that scare and finally being like shooed off that like it's going to be okay, Trask will sort of slowly move back to the group and
insert Jeopardy music in the background.
And we'll look to the group and just be like, so they seem, since getting back to it, they're in a world of their own, and they seem very, very focused on speaking about magic amongst themselves. Probably will end up learning something that'll help us, but I don't know how I feel about that guy.
Galen's gonna crouch down and a hand on Trust's shoulder. Trust me, he is taking this much.
He writes on the tablet also, again, Scarri, by the way, while you're reading that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing.
Scarri's gonna like kind of put her hands over her mouth to prevent making any noises.
Fair, and Trust will just look over continuously look over, and then finally just sigh and sit down at the water's edge, watching for fish.
Wow,
And,
why he's there? Crazy.
Yeah, gonna fucking. You can't fucking stop me from fishing.
Throw it in the bucket.
Absolutely.
When a rat wants their fish, don't get in the way.
I don't even like get them for food like 99% of the time. I just get them to catch them and then release them. It's a more relaxation thing.
After having their silent conversation through invisible magic writing, Warden Silvermane will smile at Scarri, feeling for the first time in very, very long, he's genuinely found someone that will appreciate that he can communicate with.
Scarri is going to cast Arcane Mark. But it is going to be invisible.
Okay. You see him actually Scarri, you'll notice something right off the bat. When you start casting Arcane Mark, he simply waves his hands in front of his face, and his eyes get the telltale, like, slightly blue hue of him having Detect Magic on. He is a high enough level spellcaster that he just silent and still spelled a cantrip for no reason other than just conversation. Oh no, Silvermane is a high level character.
Silvermane over here, like level 20, just chilling.
He's not quite that powerful, but he's
no, but he's like 10 plus at least. He's giving me like 12 vibes.
I think probably, I don't know, 15 is probably a good guess as well.
No, he's like level 8.
Oh, 8. Okay.
But like, to give you an idea, the basic like the captain of the guard of a major city is usually like a level 6 character.
Fair.
It is worth noting that once you start getting into double digits of levels, you're not talking about like, oh, you're someone that lives in a city and has like daily, tasks and stuff. That's like you're looking for young dragons to hunt,
You're hired by a king to protect a kingdom.
Yeah.
Are expensive.
So I write that.
Oh, that. Good
How
word,
informative.
that. It's a good word, that, I have to say. But yeah,
I don't know how I feel about the word "that" in the English.
They're just talking shit about the party. They're just like, the Krystalia, she smells. She's stinky.
So Scarri's just going to like softly and like gently nod.
Just softly nod at the making fun of the party. I get it.
Just me, I get it. Just make fun of me, it's fine.
Fucking bringing up that I have women want me fish fury.
He'll
ear under your hair.
When he sees you, so he's gonna turn. He's gonna see Traz fishing, and
I don't have my fishing stuff. I'm just going to be sitting by the water, like watching the fish go by, and like just watching them go by steadily, enjoying the look of the water.
He'll come over to you. He's gonna put a hand on your shoulder and smile at you warmly. He's gonna like the movement for like eat. The like you'll hold your fingers together and point at your mouth. Like that. Like are you hungry? He's gonna like ask you that way.
Trust will just sort of look him up and down and say, I suppose could get a bite to eat.
He's gonna look with you at the lake at the fish going by. He's gonna wait a little bit, and then there's like when like a 2 or 3 pounder like little like cave sturgeon is going by. You'll see he'll extend one finger and mutter something. Like I say mutter, he's not making any noises because he's mute. But and then you see a very small bolt of lightning arcs out of his finger and just hits the fish. The fish is shocked and like floats to the top. Scoop the fish out and give it to you.
Cross will pick it up and just sort of give him a nod and just like, I see, fellow fisherman, and everything that Trask has been feeling negative about the person is gone now.
He's gonna smile and he kind of starts ushering you guys away. You can tell like he's friendly. Silvermane's a good guy, but he's also like. He is kind of, when you have friends over and you love your friends are great, but it's 11:30 at night and you have work in the morning and you start doing the like, well, it's been nice seeing you guys, like that kind of energy.
The very nice, respectful, can you get the fuck out, please?
Yeah, and he kind of
Here's
starts
your
like,
hat, what's your hurry?
Yeah.
See you next time, please leave.
Yeah.
Please leave.
When he starts doing the ushering. Gaelin's just gonna stand and yeah, we got it, and start walking.
Scarri is going to like rush over to Trass and kind of grab their hand, and then turn and wow, my brain has stopped working today.
Kinky.
Immediately come. That's what you do.
Hold a great hand.
Grab Trass's hand, look over back at Silvermane, and wave very friendly with a big smile, and then try to like pull Trass out.
Yep. I was right, by the way. He is an Elven Druid level 9. That was like kind of a guess for me, but he's actually level 9.
Fair.
Nope,
Yeah,
nope,
insider
I'm gonna
information.
behave.
We know
I'm
when
gonna
we can
behave.
fight him.
I'm not making a bad joke. I'm not making a
No,
bad joke.
no, friend. You know, hurt my friend.
I know.
I'm not making a bad joke.
Yes, you are.
Nope. It's gone. It's fine.
Okay. And so he'll wave happily at you guys, and then as you're kind of walking away, you'll see that there's some kids near the edge of the lake, and they start like one of them starts to undo his belt and stuff, and Silvermane grabs his staff and like trudges through the water and like gives the kid a swift little slap on like the back of the thigh / butt. Wags his finger no, and the kid like grumbles, you old elven bastard, and like runs off.
Scarri is going to glare at this child like if looks could kill.
Fenrus is actually just chuckling.
All right, so where are you heading to next? And I'm curious what Scarri's going to tell you guys, because a big part of that conversation was don't tell them X, Y, and Z. So I'm curious exactly how this combo is going to go.
Oh no.
In,
Breaking up the party already.
in fact, it is time for us to end. So I think we'll be having this conversation in the next episode in 2 weeks.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I just realized. All right, thank you guys for coming. This was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
great.
super
I'm
fun.
loving it.
Scarri, did the conversation between you and Silvermane make you interested and fill you with some like oh my kind of moments?
Oh, yes, I'm very excited.
And now you have 2 weeks to decide how and what you're gonna share.
Oh, I've already decided.
Oh, fine. Well, let's.
Fine.
Okay,
More.
we'll end here now, and then the viewers will find out next week. But I'm gonna hang out in voice chat because I do want to hear you say this now, because that'll give me stuff to prep for next week. But for the viewers, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. I love you all. I will see you in 2 weeks.
Yay, we will too. Blah.
Later.